What it do, Snackers, Snack S, and Snack X's. Pardon my vocals. I'm here with jokes. I'm here with sin. And it is time for another episode of Spoiler Boys.
Spoiler boys.
I ain't gonna lie, fellas, that one was rough.
Hey, listen, you tried. Hey, listen, you tried.
And we are here to spoil for you the first 3 episodes of Daredevil Born Again, which for all intents and purposes is Daredevil season 4.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is it's a strange occurrence. I don't think we ever thought would happen. I think we had talked at some point, I'm sure throughout time, of like, man, what if Disney actually picked up the Netflix shows and
Mm-hmm.
talked about doing it, and there was some starting and stopping and some reshoots and blah blah blah. And I'm sure that there was a time when in our heads, just because it was Disney Plus and whatever, it was like, man, I don't know, man, Daredevil and those shows that Defenders run, they were so violent and so adult. I don't think Disney will ever do it. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think on the strength of Deadpool, Disney was like, we gotta put some parental controls in Disney Plus, and we gotta find a way to make this happen. And once that happened, it was
we can lean a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and green light some things. So, in truth, this has been a long time coming. That those first 3 seasons, along with 2 seasons of Punisher and 2 seasons of Jessica Jones, 1 season of Iron Fist, 1 Luke Cage, 1 season of Defenders. It'll be interesting to see where this goes based on how it does. But if the first 3 episodes are any indication, I think we might be in a serious loop. I think this might be I think they might have a winner on their hands. So because we gotta condense this episode and really talk about 3 episodes in one, as we go forward, we'll be discussing each episode like as it happens. So in later episodes, as we do Spoiler Boys, it'll be contained to the individual episode that we're talking about. But in this circumstance, we are talking about the first 3. Man, I'm not even completely sure where to start, but we might as well just go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. So the first episode, in like the first 15 minutes, they make sure that you understand we are not pulling punches.
This is different.
I know. They was basically like, I know what you clicked to watch this.
I know what you're here
I
for.
know where you're watching.
Should have been like, yeah, this is mental trauma coming y'all way. Be prepared.
But I want you to know you're in a very unsafe space, just like you were when you were on Netflix. We're going in. So we are celebrating Karen and, well, really we're celebrating the retirement of Detective Cherry at Josie's. And it's good to see Karen and Foggy. Initially they said they weren't going to be in the show at all. Which is a little weird, but that's for another discussion another time. And so it's really good to see them. Foggy looking dapper.
Hey, listen, Foggy was clean. Got the goatee and everything. I was like, all right, see
looking
you.
like, hey, coming that thing looking like money. Like, all right, bet. You know what I mean? They chilling in the bar. Foggy going at the DA like, yeah, I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? There's a little bottle under there. We can do some things.
That 20 years.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Foggy was like spitting game. I'm like, all right, Foggy, You know what I'm saying? Karen and Matt having a little conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Matt doing the super sleuth, supersonic eavesdropping on my man. You know, everything is everything. And sure enough, man, Foggy gets a call. Steps outside. You know, got a client or somebody is panicked. Don't worry about it. Got you. You're good. You're safe. Like, nah, man, Slim is here. And you see the fly, like a fly flying around and land on a light bulb. And then the fly get pinged with the paper clip to the wall. And you like, here we go. Bullseye's in the building. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now. I do have some concerns about the timing of this. I would really like to know where he was when he killed the fly. If Slim was in the, like, I don't know. I do have some questions about how all that happened. What you need to know is we're about to get a oneer. We're about to get a hallway fight scene to kick off the season.
Oh yeah.
For all intents and purposes. Matt's overhearing it. Something's wrong. We need to figure out what's popping. Cool, I got it. I'll run down there. He's at my place. It's not that far away. I'll shoot down there. Karen and Foggy standing outside. Next thing you know, my man Foggy is shot in the chest. Man down. 2 officers come outside. Wop, wop. Man down, woman down. Karen, listen, I don't know if she's bad luck.
Might be something to that.
No, I like it. However, she always covered in somebody else's blood, bro. She stays covered in someone else's blood, bro. The amount of trauma that this woman has to be carrying.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest. My actual favorite moment from this first 3 episodes has to do with her in that opening scene. So as Matt, as Daredevil, is running to try to go protect his client, he hears what's happening, can hear Foggy's heartbeat, realize what's going on. Bullseye's coming back. My man comes through the fog off the hello, Karen, like just like he did in like the last season. And he really was about to kill her.
Hey. Oh yeah.
Like, it was going down.
When they got away.
Yeah, for sure. Here comes Matt. Swinging through like Spider-Man
style.
Dog, I didn't like none of that. He looking like Arrow on CW swinging through the air, dog. I could not stand it.
the CG a little bit. I was a little like, ooh. But
I'm not a fan of most of the CG in this whatsoever.
There was definitely some lackluster. Some of that luster was lacking. To an extent, forgivable. Because we're about to get a oneer. I just want to say, I've never liked Bullseye as a character.
I like him. I like him in this show, but yeah, I like his representation in this. Yeah,
same thing as Purple Man.
Right.
Like with Jessica Jones, didn't care about Purple Man at all in the comics, and you know, in the comics, he's actually purple.
Purple, yeah.
Bullseye
is a beast.
Listen, short on words, just straight to the point.
I'm just gonna throw everything at you and whoop you that way.
He hit.
And I'm not gonna miss.
He ain't miss Matt.
He hit Youngin between the eyes with a
the
cue ball. I don't know if it was a cue ball. It was a pool ball, and I was like, bro, all of that is shattered. Everything in that is shattered. Look, man. What I appreciate about Daredevil fights, this one included, I feel like they didn't miss a beat as far as that's concerned. Is how visceral they are in terms of like Matt has superhuman abilities in terms of like his hearing and
his senses,
so forth, right? His senses, but he doesn't have like super strength. Right. He doesn't have So like, my man is eating a lot of knives.
Yeah, he had like 7 of them things in his chest by the time he was at the end of this shit. They
once we hit the steps, and like there was like a subtle turn that he did, and you just like literally see these Jones just sticking out his chest. I'm just like, damn, dude.
You're not gonna snatch none of these things out or throw them back at him or nothing. You're just gonna eat these.
At one point, he does take the club and he knocks him out of his wrist. But I also feel like, I don't know, look, maybe just like in your head, you like, man, if I take these out and try to throw them back, he is going to throw these at me again. Like I can't, I just can't risk giving him any additional weaponry. You know what I mean? It is a long, drawn out bar fight scene that goes to a staircase that is like innocent people just trying to carry their groceries. Like, hey, what's going on?
Hey, bruh, dude at the top of the just still in the stand. I'm like, bro, go inside, go inside.
You don't see what's happening right now. Just
go need no parts to be standing there right now.
As the fight is happening, I feel like they do a really good job of adjusting the cinematography and the audio to kind of get you focused in again on the fact that Matt kind of can't focus on this fight right now. That he is focused on the fight. He is definitely angry about what's going on, but he is also concerned and listening for what's happening with Karen and with Foggy, listening to his heartbeat. He's known Foggy a long time. So if there's a person's heartbeat that he knows, like he knows Foggy's heartbeat, right? And so this fight that is just like both of them are tired by the time they're going up the staircase and get to the rooftop and throwing things at each other, and Bullseye actually kind of missing, like being worn out, right? At that point, and Matt catching him, and then Foggy's heart stopping, and Matt having that moment where, for all intents and purposes, he tried to kill Bullseye.
Oh, he did.
Oh no, there was no. He tried to kill this dude.
Right off the top. You out of here.
Hey, bro, we saw that joke from top to bottom.
All that one.
My man went splat, and I was just like, "Oh, he dead."
And that is my favorite moment. It could be my favorite moment for this entire season. Karen, that moment when that body hits the ground behind her, and she is afraid that it's Matt. She's like, I can't. This cannot be. It better not be him. That moment, that trauma of like, dog, I cannot lose both of y'all. Not right now, not tonight, not after everything, not like all of that was in that one moment. Like she sells that for for the two of them to have not even been in the original plan. Real talk, that moment is easily the best acted moment in this entire, like all of the 3 episodes that we have so far, just that moment, that splat, if you will, right? That like bone curdling, crunching landing, and then that moment of panic for her.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that it could have been the two of them back to back for her, just, you know, so the first time I watched this episode, that episode, as soon as that happened, I turned it off.
Yeah, you told you it wasn't ready.
I was working overnight. I'm on my lunch break. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna watch Daredevil. About to see some people get beat up. Mentally, I was not in the right mind frame to like, because that's a very like sit forward moment.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, can't do this. We're gonna have to come back to this. So I did it again and I rewatched it. And I've watched it like 3 times since then.
Mm-hmm.
Cause just there's so much going on that like I couldn't really see everything that's happening in the fight. Kind of trying to listen for everything and soak it all in or whatever. What are your thoughts on like the opening 20 minutes of the first episode?
Great.
Like it set that tone of what Daredevil was coming from Netflix to Disney Plus. So for whatever reason, had you not tuned into the Netflix Daredevil, and you kind of just jumped straight into this, it immediately lets you know that this is a different beast. So if you've seen Deadpool and Wolverine, cool, but this was just to get that tone set. Like, listen, we had the hallway fight scene. They're gonna put hands on people. This is not PG. It was just a great way to set the tone, and just make it known that this is going to be a ride.
No, I agree. It definitely lets you know what you were getting into. Like you said, if you hadn't seen Daredevil before, this definitely lets you know within the first 20 minutes, this is what this show is going to be about. This is what you're getting until the ride is over. Like this type of action, this type of violence, this type of drama, that type of stuff. So I agree with that. I fully expected them to die like within the first 5 minutes. Karen and I thought both of them were going to die. Karen and Foggy.
Really?
I absolutely did because I said I was going to watch it after weekly, and I had it up on the thing, and I went to go get something, and I came back, and I didn't see them in the credits. I was like, I thought they were in the show. Maybe am I tripping or something? Did I miss something? I thought they were in the show. I didn't see their names in
the credits of what? Of the first episode?
Yeah, like the actors and actresses, and the way Plex brings it up. So I was like, okay, whatever. So when I clicked on it, and I saw them together, I was like, and I thought the bar was going to get blown up or something like that. I was like, oh no, they're about to die. That's going to set up the whole born again type of thing, yada, yada, which is kind of right. Just both of them didn't die. So I was waiting for them to get killed the entire time. I was like, they're going to do it any second. Any second now, when they're walking down the street outside together, all side by side, being all chummy, I'm talking, I'm like, they're about to die right now. I was waiting for them. They're about to die any second now, any second. And when it was just, when Foggy got hit, I was like, he's about to hit her too. He's about to get her too, but he couldn't get that shot off just right. But yeah, so I fully expected it. But yeah, that opening action sequence was, I ain't gonna lie, incredible. It was yeah. Him and Bullseye did their thing to set things off. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I'm not too fan of some of the CG, well, pretty much all the CG they use in that fight that they used throughout the episode so far, even when it's conversational and stuff like that. I can't stand it. It takes me out of it. But in that action sequence, I enjoyed it a lot. I don't like it when it's the regular stuff. When they throw that in there, it throws me off. I hate it. But
what are you talking about specifically?
It's something about how it's shot and how it's looked. Like sometimes it looks very comic booky to me. Other times it looks more grounded.
When they're talking, like when
they do it in. It's just sometimes when people are having conversations, they do it like with Matt and this new girl or whatever. There's times when they're talking and it looks all comic booky to me, and I can't stand it. It's like a filter they put over it or something like that. They used that filter during the action sequence, which was fine during the action sequence, but outside of that, when it's just not that, they tend to use it a lot throughout the episodes, and I hate it with everything, and it takes me really out of it.
I haven't really. So I don't. When you say CG, that kind of I think messed me up a little bit.
Maybe it's the filter they put over it or something. Like I can't stand it. It looks computer and it looks Yeah, very computery. I don't like it. It's comic booky.
like they're doing something to their. I mean, I do. It doesn't, to me personally, it doesn't really feel different than the old show, but I haven't. I don't know. I did rewatch it
I just
relatively.
finished rewatching it, and it didn't look like that. And it's not all the time. At certain times that they use it, that it just throws me completely off. I can't stand it. I'm trying to
Yeah.
find a specific scene to bring it up here.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't really have that. Like when they're talking in the office or whatever. I think that there's some really good cinematic shots of, like, in terms of framing characters to each other. Um, we're gonna talk about Matt's new joint in a minute.
The Doctor.
That thing is, but yeah, I mean, I don't quite have that. There are definitely, in terms of like him running across the rooftop, that's a little bit kind of off for me, and like definitely some moments of like him swinging and kind of landing on a roof kind of thing that sometimes are a little off and off-putting for me.
In fact, they do it
But
in the
I mean,
train sequence too, when they do with a White Tiger. When the dude
now
gets pushed into the train.
definitely in the train. Now that, but again, that is actual CG. Like the
Yeah.
train
Yeah.
hitting Slim in the blood. That joint definitely looks fake. Like that
Yeah,
joint looks.
when they do those things like that, though, I see it throughout the episodes, and it drives me crazy when
That's
it's not
like an
action scenes.
action thing a little more than just like when they're talking. So I don't, I mean, you know, but it, you know, again, it's not that big a deal. Like to each his own. Like I can understand it. Like there definitely are, I think, a lot of uses of filters. I, for the most part, feel like they're used the right way to set the lighting the way they need it. However, I can kind of see what you're saying, where it seems like the lighting isn't actual lighting on set, and it's something that they have done after the fact to make the lighting look a certain way or whatever. So I definitely can see that. Yeah, so look, we move on, we pick up, you know, there's a good time jump. Matt has established a new firm with DA, same shorty that Foggy was trying to get at. You know, and we'll, I suppose, consider ourselves as moved on as we can be. I do want to talk a minute about whether or not. So look, since these 3 episodes have come out, it has also come out that Foggy and Karen are going to be back in the next season.
Flashback.
Probably not.
Hey, listen.
Probably not. In the comic run, there is a run where Foggy faces death, and Matt hears his heartbeat stop, and it turns out that Foggy is in witness protection. But Matt doesn't know.
Witness protection.
Yeah. Yeah. So that certainly could be a thing. The Marvel TV chief, Brad Winderbaum, I believe is his last name, was doing an interview and was just saying that he was excited to have them in the show, and that you know, we're not done. I'm excited to see them back in season 2.
Okay, interesting.
Cooking. I'm.
So it'll be interesting to see how that turn, comes about. But nonetheless, it is that opening sequence is a catalyst for what the title of what this show is in Born Again. In that, at some point, Matt loses one of the horns from from the Daredevil mask and gives up being Daredevil. And so, you're kind of getting these the BB in the street,
Oh
then
yeah.
your niece, kind of giving you more of a social media kind of a take, man on the street. Here's the vibes in the city. There's this kind of back and forth 50-50 split between whether people are for or against vigilantism. Um, do we need them? Don't we need them? Just kind of, I think, setting the bar. Um, and I think early in that episode, you get to see Fisk kind of come back and walk into the room with Vanessa while Vanessa is
Having a meeting.
Holding down business.
Mm-hmm.
truly handling business.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's getting paid, everybody's making money, and she is ruling by money. Like, she keeps him in line by checking him. Hey, these areas are off limits. We don't cross that. Why y'all squabbling like little boys when there's millions of dollars to be made? And as powerful as she has become and as successful as she is and has been at
Mm-hmm.
running those businesses, all Fisk has to do is walk in a room
Walk in the room.
and just everybody's
Yeah.
like, what?
Didn't
Let
even
me
have to
do
say a
out.
word, knowing that I needed to have a conversation with Vanessa. It was like, saw him, was just like, well, meeting adjourned. Let us go about our business. And
Yeah, I mean, it goes a long way to establish the crossroads that we're at.
mm-hmm.
That she's in a place where she likes running things and likes doing something that she's good and she's successful at,
Mm-hmm.
and actually has um, some disdain for him being able to just walk into. I know he led with an iron fist, if you will, right? It was violence and you know, um, and fear, and she doesn't lead that way, but she's very good at it and successful. And he can just walk into the room and immediately break up something that she's worked very hard to accomplish in his absence, right? Um, and kind of undoes everything with just a step into the room and immediately gives you that vibe of the separation between the two of them and
Mm-hmm.
kind of who they are. Um, so I have some thoughts about the direction that that's going to go um, for the remainder of the show, because I think that divide is everything that has ever really motivated Kingpin in this run of show. Most of it has been around her,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
been motivated by
Right, Vanessa.
or wanting to protect someone. Echo, maybe. Um, and I do want to highly recommend that if like you're watching this and you haven't seen Echo, for that matter, if you haven't watched Hawkeye, you should
Mm-hmm.
probably watch both of those shows. They are both tied to what is happening here, and they bring it up, and it's kind of throwaway. Um, that's another one of my favorite moments when they're sitting down in a cafe,
Cafe. I love that.
and he's like, I tried to take somebody under my wing and be a mentor, and that was like, yeah, didn't she shoot you in the
Shoot in
face?
the face.
Yeah. Sitting right there, that whole scar thing you got going on right there. Yeah, that wasn't for me.
It's an interesting juxtaposition of Matt being in a place where he no longer wants to be a vigilante,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, and Fisk is running for mayor on a platform of we don't want or need vigilantes. And so in some ways they're on the same page. And there are these moments of like you can see them kind of pushing Matt's buttons of like, I could just put the thing back on
and get to working.
Hey, listen, Kingpin. Well, when Fisk was sitting there, he was just like, listen, if you're looking to spar with me, I don't want to spar with you. Like, I was just like, it was like I really enjoyed them, separating Daredevil from the Kingpin. Like, this is Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk sitting here having that conversation. But Wilson still put him on notice that, hey, if you go back to any of those other antics that you were doing in that previous life of yours, it's like I'm coming out. We're like, it's gonna be a wrap for you. So it was kind of them really
putting each other in check.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they both did that. Like it was both of them kind of being like
you don't go back to your old ways, type of deal. I won't go back to mine, type of deal, and we'll just stay like that. You stay in your lane, you don't cross any boundaries, and you do the same thing. And we ain't gonna worry about smoke from each other.
But where there's smoke,
they've both been tested. They both have been tested. So
Matt's new love interest that he got set up with is a very cute moment. Is a therapist. She's not a therapist in the comics, but it doesn't really matter. I like the setup though. There is something about the way that this show in particular is written, the way they intertwine characters, and those characters never really know that they're intertwined until like
later down the line. Yeah.
Hey dog, Wilson Fisk, dog. What a dick. Hey dog, listen. First of all, I can't think of the young dude's name or whatever. James Gandolfini's son who's like you're doing such and such in the polls, and we got a blah blah blah.
Who is this guy?
Like, yeah. It's crazy that he gets BB like this interview. Like I'm going out. She fake, whatever. Like we can go out, whatever. She gets to go in and sit down with him. Don't really ask no major questions or whatever. And he goes, Ben Urich.
Yeah.
I knew him.
I was like, hey, bro.
You murdered that man.
Straight up.
One of the best. No, I'm not here I am here to kill you. Like that.
Dog. Bro, do you think she finds out that Kingpin murdered Ben Urich?
I definitely think somehow that's going to come out. Whether it's her actually, helping Fisk initially, like, whether it's, helping with like these news stories to kind of push his agenda and make him look good. And somehow, I don't know if it's going to be Matt, but somehow that is going to come out and create a whole world of an issue.
It's a little tricky with Karen not being there because Karen was the one who was really working with Ben.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And with her not being around, having moved to San Francisco, and whatever, it's kind of tricky to see. She doesn't quite seem to have the same exact journalism bug, the need to dig deep that Ben did. She's just kind of chasing stories or whatever. But I certainly think that comes back around at some point. Does she survive the season?
No.
I think
she's
gonna
die.
Yeah. I think she'll make it.
I think so too.
I think she'll make it.
I think she makes it, but I like that sentence. Like, nope.
I'm waiting for it. I'm
Hey,
waiting for it.
bro, if they make Fist like the early killers, like he just gonna kill like the whole family line or something.
Could be.
Oh
I
man.
do want to ask. I want to address something for anybody who might be watching, especially if you didn't watch
The
the
original
first.
run. Okay.
So I'm gonna keep it a buck. When when Poindexter opens his eyeballs and takes a breath after he hit the street, I was like, oh,
Hey, Slim, you should be dead.
yeah.
You belly flopped onto the concrete.
Bruh.
I'm going to say the only way I can see him surviving that, technically,
Mm-hmm.
is because of the surgery on his back from the previous season.
Hmm.
Because, and I don't know if they'll do, I doubt they do. Maybe they use this as a way to do it. This is how my Marvel brain starts to kick in. So Bullseye, I mean, again, because we see him go to trial, like Karen shows up, so
Mm-hmm.
we can see him go to trial. Matt has to testify. Rough day. I love the moment though. Slim is the least remorseful person.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, I used to be Daredevil. I don't know what you want me to tell you, right? Um, but they in the last season they replaced his spine with a metal called cognium. Now, the doctor that did the surgery on his spine in last season, the Asian guy, is the father of Lady Deathstrike,
Mm.
who has the
Yeah.
like adamantium fingertips.
Yeah.
Oh.
But in the comics, when that happened to his spine, it wasn't cognium, it was adamantium.
Adamantium. Ooh.
And of course, when they did the last joint, they didn't have the rights to use
Use
adamantium
adamantium. Yeah.
tied to X-Men. Now they have the rights.
Right. And they're
Oh.
introducing it now. Yeah. So
Somehow go back and maybe say that, yeah, listen, what we actually used was something that wasn't tested, but
experimental.
we it
Yeah.
was experimental, so we called it, we said it was this. But now since things work and you're okay, yeah, you have the celestial stuff in your body.
Who
Maybe
knows?
adamantium spine.
Hey, listen, I get it, but listen, he fell face first. If
That's the thing.
that
If he had fallen on his back, I might have been a little more forgiving.
Belly
That
flop
is one
straight
of the
up.
nastiest moments I've ever seen, though. When his eyes rolled open
dog, I was like,
and he took that breath.
Like, dude is tough, dog. I'm sorry. You feel different.
100%. 100%.
You're not supposed to be opening your eyes right now.
Slim is the toughest.
oh,
Like, um, I like the moments of the small interaction between Matt and Karen outside the courtroom. Just like the inability to kind of clearing the air and being like, I haven't talked to you since. You didn't return my calls. You kind of left me high and dry.
mm-hmm.
I was hurt too. Just all of that. Just kind of being emotionally. And again, like where she is,
Mm-hmm.
considering her entire journey started with her like waking
Right.
up covered in
Covered in
blood in
blood,
her
yeah.
apartment, just whatever. Like, you know, Yeah, she's yeah. I don't know what she's doing in San Francisco, but probably starting something. Just
Getting far away from Hell's Kitchen as she can.
It ain't gonna matter because like if the West Coast Avengers and stuff start showing up, she may be getting involved in some other legalities out there.
I mean, look, I felt this way like literally in the very first season. I was like, Karen Page, though, mind your business.
Can't do it.
Just mind your business.
Can't do it. It ain't in her DNA.
Clearly, though. But somebody else's DNA always ends up
On her.
like dog. Like it's just mind your business. She don't have it in her. So I'm gonna be real. I kind of need her to not be here right now. Can't go through the same old tropes with the same old, you know what I mean? Whatever. But let's dig into the White Tiger a little bit. Man, I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping we was gonna get to see a little bit more of that or like other vigilantes at work. Maybe we'll get another cameo of some sort, like Wilson Fisk technically brings up Spider-Man. You know, the idea that like you were gonna see White Tiger is kind of like, all right, well maybe we'll get to see like a little bit of a team up or something. Because there is a part of me that's like, I get it if you stop being Daredevil, dog, but like, where are the defenders? Like, where's Jessica Jones and what is she doing?
Somewhere drunk.
Luke Cage and what is he doing? And we don't care where Iron Fist is.
Not really.
Iron Fist can just go on a long vacation.
I think with Iron Fist, he went to like Mongolia or something, right? Him and his brother / friend or whatever, best friend or whatever from childhood or whatever.
Just stay over there.
Yeah, they went to go find like where he was. I went back and trained from. I think that's how they ended it.
No, we don't know what you're talking about. So like, I don't know. I just thought it would be kind of cool to see, you know, a little more. So like, really, all the fact that all you really get is kind of like these little TV clips of Slim in like action in a little convenience store or something like that. And
somebody had a different opinion. Said no, ain't nobody gonna get more screen time to be here.
Hey dog, let's do this because for real. All right, look, I appreciate the lawyerism, the like, all right, we gotta find a way, blah blah blah. Finding out that Slim is the White Tiger. It's better than Cherry be getting busy, but like,
yeah, he's one of my new favorite characters of this season. I like Cherry.
Yeah, Cherry cool.
Yeah,
is he gonna survive?
I think he may not. I feel like in what he's doing,
is it him?
I thought he was going to die in the opening scene. I
Okay.
thought he was going to die because it was his retirement joint. So like, it would have just been one of those things.
I was thinking just them two, Foggy and Karen. That's why I was locked on that opening scene. Like it's gonna be one of them, both of them.
Well, I just thought he would be. It was a lot of cannon fodder in that.
Yeah, a lot of collateral damage. Yeah,
bad night to pick to go to the bar, y'all.
Yeah, it could have easily been him.
Once he saw him without the mask on, I was like, okay, now he's gonna stick around for a minute. He's gonna be his little person to go to and confide in and stuff like that. So
yeah,
since we're apparently killing off these two.
You know, unfortunately, the actor who played him passed away. Like 2 years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like, if you when you watch it, they
the loving
the second right.
Got it. I didn't put two and two together.
Yeah. So I guess he was sick at the time that he did it. You know, so yeah, so not that like I'm like, oh man, I wish he was around so we could get something later in the future or whatever. I just thought we were gonna get more of him throughout the season. You know what I mean, or something like that, especially when it ended with him getting off. Because the truth of the matter is, in the comic book, it didn't happen that way. He got convicted in the comic book.
Ooh.
They lost that joint, but there was a whole thing where like Matt did this thing where he was able to get the courts to allow mass vigilantes to testify without having to remove their masks. So it was like a whole thing that they did or whatever. Nonetheless, in the comic book, he didn't get off. So I wasn't necessarily expecting that to be the case.
Mhm.
And so when he did get off, because I loved it, just like the fact that he pulled it at the last minute or whatever, which is like legally you really can't do that. So like the judge being like, my chambers,
Yeah, my chambers now.
At that point, the time is loose, and they kind of have to do like a bit of a time jump where it's like, all right, because now they got to go get all these witnesses, and to have the witnesses, a lot of the witnesses, be statements from police officers that he saved police officers, that he helped. Like, I'm like, dog, this is gold. Like, this is beautiful. It's working out, and I'm a sucker for like a legal show. I love a legal show, bro.
Suits.
So like, I'm eating this up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but in my head, I'm like, it's not gonna work. And real talk, after Matt gave his closing argument, I was like, he tightened this.
It's done. The bow is wrapped. It's over.
And my man came back and was like, hey, look, man, good people do bad things. Bad people do good things. Okay. I was like, I don't know, man. He might have swayed. I don't know. He might have swayed him. And then I thought when they were starting to announce like not guilty, I thought they were going to find him guilty. Like, I didn't think one of the charges or something like that. Like, they started celebrating too early, blah, blah, blah. He's still going to have to go to jail, or, you know what I'm saying? Something. Now, I will say this. They did mention like his niece and somebody else who in the comics do actually end up picking up the mantle of the White Tiger.
Yeah, I know that. I think his niece that does.
So, well, both of them do.
Okay.
Like the two people that they mentioned are both people that pick up the mantle because it's not everybody in his family that can do. Like the medallion is a family heirloom thing, but it doesn't work on everybody.
Got it.
So it is possible that somebody else picks it up and takes on the mantle, even though
gonna need a new hood.
You know, but they're very. Hey, dog, you're trifling.
Just saying.
They're women. They weren't gonna be able to use that. Anyway. It's not like Black Panther. So like the fact that as they're going through the show, they start to like show the little Punisher tattoos.
Logos in the street,
yeah. I saw the first one. I was like, oh shit.
I have to double back to Matt Cherry really finding the witness from the platform, and then Matt going there and begging these dudes like, "Come on, man,
don't do this."
The more they kept hitting him, I was like, "This is gonna get worse if y'all just don't leave this blind man alone." he's still trying to save y'all life right now.
The only thing he was missing was him. Well, you guys wouldn't hit a blind man, would you? Like that was the only line that would have missing.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was gonna have to tune Slim up in the bathroom when Slim walked in the bathroom on him.
I did too.
Need your glasses during the day. So I'm like, dude, okay. So at this point, does that mean these Bammers have figured out that he's Daredevil, or are they going? Because Slim is still around. Like the last time we saw him, he wasn't in the courtroom when Slim was found not guilty. The last time we saw him was when he stopped Cherry when Cherry was on the way. Dog, and then the witness fake, bro. I would whoop, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. After this
Slam
is
dunk,
over,
we had it in the bag for you, dog. You can use hands.
Listen, if truly a Daredevil, that would have been a Daredevil visit. That would have been a Daredevil visit right there.
All right, dog. So, who shot White Tiger, dog?
As much as like it seemed, I don't think it was the real Punisher.
Definitely not.
Yeah, clearly, I don't think it was the real Punisher. So I'm guessing this is someone that Wilson Fisk has potentially hired to go through here and start. But then obviously, Punisher will find this out. And
couldn't it have been Slim that was the person whose partner got killed on the platform to begin with? That the last time we saw him, he was with Cherry.
Certainly could be.
By dressing up as the Punisher, right, you can blame it on vigilantes again and keep going on your crusade,
bro. But of all vigilantes that you could have dressed up as, and to potentially go do this. You picked the Punisher, dude.
Yeah, you know,
Well, I
Punisher gonna
think
come.
that there's
You know, what Punisher gonna do if
there's
he
a
come back. He's seen how he works.
I think that's part of the problem. I think that like if you look at all the other vigilantes that they have talked about,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're talking Spider-Man, Daredevil. Like these are not people who kill
Mm-hmm.
in the name of justice. Like they
Mhm.
do what they got to do. Work with again, even with all the testimony that came from the officers on White Tiger's behalf, it was he came, he saved my life, then he helped me hold him down and
Yeah.
arrest him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And get him, blah blah blah. So like the standout, the one that's in the way is the Punisher. The Punisher is the one who's like, he's the one who truly is giving the bad name to all the rest of the
Mhm.
vigilantes because he just,
He murdered so many people in the name of justice.
you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
you
Bodies
know,
upon bodies. He had like at
I
least
don't have
80
a rogue.
bodies in
I
season
don't have a
2.
rogue
Easy.
gallery. I put them down.
correct, correct. There's no, so the idea that there is a rogue set of police officers that are like that follow the Punisher, like know his
Mm-hmm.
story, know what happened, and actually kind of believe in his version of justice. Like we can't keep locking these dudes up. We're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna keep whatever. We just gonna take them off the street. We just gonna take them out. Like I feel like there's a thing building there within the police officers, while there is this overarching gang war that is starting to brew.
Mm-hmm.
That like Vanessa quelled it. Like that whole thing where Slim just jumped on was like, go ahead and run your wallet. Let me get all that up off you, and then just killed them 2 dudes or whatever. And they like, that's supposed to be no man's. Like nobody's supposed to get hurt in that area. That area is off limits. Red
Mm-hmm.
Hook is supposed to be off limits. And she's like, no. She sent Slim down to the docks or whatever. Here's your payment. And Tracksuit Mafia Man was like, hold tight. Nah. You not paying him for me, whatever. Like, nah. I don't take orders from you. You know what I mean, or whatever. Like, I don't work for him. I work for the man, right? And the question is, because he said what he said. He said, I don't take orders from the Kingpin's lackey or something like that. And he said, I don't work for the Kingpin. I work for the man. To me, the man is Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
He was taking orders from Vanessa. Because then you've come back on the other end of it. And Fisk is angry with her for actually, he's like, nah, they rats. Let them fight
Let
amongst
them
each
fight
other.
them
He
on.
wants there to
Mm-hmm.
be a gang war.
Yeah.
He's like, sometimes you need that violence to kind of, but
Mhm.
that's gonna make him look good. Like if that violence is erupting and it's happening, and he can go in and say
And
that
quell
he
it.
stopped
Yeah.
it or whatever, that's gonna make him look good,
Yeah.
right?
Like he says, I'm
But
playing
in
a
the
different game now.
meanwhile, but what that it is, and he's trying to get her on the ball with him. But what that means now is that he's stepping on her toes because he messing with her money.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
She said to him, "Oh, the such and such payment is coming through, and I could wash like 200 million out of that." And he's like, "We don't do that anymore. Like, we don't need to do that. Like, whatever."
Mhm.
She's like, "Hold on, Slim." And I'm thinking she might be talking to the power broker somewhere. Where's the power broker, dog?
No, like she has until what is it, Thunderbolts to show up though. Like after that, she's
lost cause.
yeah, she had lost cause. she's fallen into the witness protection thing at that point.
Yeah, crazy. So like, I'm gonna just tell you that what I'm loving right now about the show is how complex
Mm-hmm.
the relationships, the Kingpin, Fisk and Vanessa being in couples therapy
I
with
love that.
Matt's new girlfriend.
Yeah, I
Right.
love all of that as far as their character development and everything, the couples therapy everything. I like it a lot.
Having I can't think of the dude's name. The same dude that got sent to go pay off the dude and keep the fight from happening.
Mm.
He's the one that went and got her to sign the book. Mind you, this is after the weird dude who I'm pretty sure is Muse asked her to sign the book and was like, "Hey, I need some therapy. Can you help me?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever. But they never show his face.
Yeah.
Then dude shows up and he asked for the book signing. And then now they're doing the secret thing. And so he's the only other person that knows that the two of them are in therapy with him. But also, I'm pretty sure that it's also about kind of keeping tabs on Matt Murdock's new girlfriend, like that he's aware that she and Matt are seeing each other, and that just hasn't shown up on screen yet. You haven't really seen them getting tailed, so to speak, or anything like that. But like the idea that like, nah, they're aware, right? So like, you know, Matt dealing with the new girlfriend who is a friend of the new business partner, right? Who does deal with Cherry, doesn't really want to do the work they're doing, but also was maybe going to get involved with Foggy, who, you know, again, she's doing couples therapy with Fisk and Vanessa. Vanessa is sending the dude who technically is working for Fisk, and there's a little bit of a butt between the woman Sheila, who's like Fisk's campaign manager or whatever, and dude. So is he there kind of keeping tabs on Fisk for Vanessa, or is he actually working for Fisk? He's kind of back and forth. Like at the time when Fisk gets out of the car because of the pothole or whatever that's in the ground, and he just gets out of the car and she's like, "Why didn't you stop him?" He's like, "Ain't my job." Like that's your job, right? Meanwhile, she's also kind of at odds with the young dude who's bringing BB in. You know what I'm saying, to do what, like there's all these kind of intertwined inner work. Bro, there's so much backstabbing. And like, yeah, it's just there's so much going on that I'm like loving this joint because of just how intricate all of it is and can be. And you know, again, we got this dude who his partner got killed on the platform. He was rough and slim up. We still don't really know why, right? You know, or whatever happened as far as that's concerned. We don't know why he said he was going to snitch and then didn't. There's the Asian dude who, for whatever reason, you saw his tattoo and he turned and was like, "So and so can't testify." Who are you, dog? Who are you? You know what I'm saying? He just another one of the Bammers that has a tattoo. One had it on the wrist, he had it on his neck. You know, so again, there's something happening in the police force. Maybe there's going to be a thing within the police force who are Punisher. They've kind of done this before where like Wilson already hired like Bullseye to be a fake Daredevil to make it look like something was going on. Now you have these guys that are on the force that are walking around like they're the Punisher because they believe in his system or whatever. They already talking about bringing the Punisher back. You know what I mean? For another season or in next season of this.
I know you got a one shot coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot, bro, that's happening. And are we 3 episodes in and my man ain't put the suit back on yet?
Nope. We'll get there eventually.
What's gonna make him put the suit on?
Somebody else gonna get murked?
I mean, clearly somebody else gonna die. Like that's
it's
like,
probably,
you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like it's gonna be Wilson Fisk is gonna end up stepping out of line. I feel like after that conversation, I feel like it's probably gonna be something like that that's gonna create him to put that suit back on. Like even though someone else getting killed is especially close to him will probably push him over the edge. I feel like it's gonna have to be something like Wilson Fisk stepping back over that, or him discovering that Wilson Fisk is really still being the kingpin, even though he's like as mayor right now.
Hey, dog, the way that he manipulated the commissioner, dog.
Hey, first things first. When he was talking about them cheesesteaks, and he was about to start saying that Gino was the
jokes. I was dying laughing. I was like, "Oh, when we talk about this, I know B has opinions about that scene."
Listen, Gino's. I'm like, no, what are we doing here?
Hey, listen, it's fine because he don't really know. I feel like most New Yorkers actually know though. But like when he said, "You're originally from Philly, right?" He was like, Yeah, born and raised. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Cheesesteak. That man said Geno's. I was like, he ain't from Philly, dog. Get him out of here, dog. We don't. No, I won't claim it. Hey, dog. When he lifted the sandwich paper, dog.
and had the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I didn't know what Oh, my man thought he could hide that illegitimate son. Then he told him he was like, "Ain't nobody getting no
Get
raise.
raises.
Ain't nobody."
Yeah.
No
None of
overtime.
that. None of that.
I said, "Yeah, dog.
You done
That's the
messed up.
fist. He's the one." Um, yeah. My man said, "All right, I'll stay, but be careful what you wish for." So, what is the commissioner up to? How is that going to be tied to something? Right? Because he said, like, when I leave, like half the force is leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Maybe
So he's like, you ain't gonna have no cops, which means that there's going to be dissension in the ranks between the police.
maybe the commissioner's the one that's running all that. Them being on the side to punish and all that kind of stuff. Maybe he kind of aligns with them with that. And is
Nah, I'm
heading
gonna
that.
say no because his whole thing is like he knows who Fisk really is and
Mhm.
like doesn't like that Fisk is a thug from the streets and does that, you know what I mean? Does whatever. He's like, so he's not gonna be the one that's about the killing and the whatever.
Yeah.
So I would say the people who are gonna stay or would stay with the force are the people who are in that, and everybody else maybe would leave, you know what I mean, or say or something like that with him. But yeah, I mean,
It's just
he
gonna
was
be
ready to fall.
probably everything's gonna be opposite. Fisk is trying to go after the vigilantes. Maybe he's gonna end up, having his people turn the eye as they start seeing, vigilantes coming out here and doing stuff where they should be arresting them on sight when they see them. They'll just start turning around, letting things keep going the way that it is potentially.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's where I'm at. I feel like I could end up being wrong. Right now, I feel like there's such a heavy emphasis on Fisk and his stance and the fact that he ran on a platform against vigilantes and against vigilanteism
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like there has to be more vigilantes in this besides Daredevil. It
Mm-hmm.
can't just be Daredevil. Otherwise, for real, like, what are we doing? Because if it really ends up just being Daredevil, then we're really just talking about one dude, and it just seems like
And they make
you're
it sound
making
like
a
there's
big
more of them in
deal
the
out of it.
city.
Yeah, you're making it sound like it's a much bigger problem than just one guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
or whatever, right? And I do think that there's a possibility that. So I do think that there is a run in the comics where basically Matt's identity gets outed,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there's a possibility that happens. That it just ends up getting, because we know that Cherry knows who he is because Cherry came on the rooftop after
And
he
so
threw.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we know Cherry knows who he is. The idea that could get outed and be a catalyst for something else is 100% possible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we'll have to see. I think right now I am questioning based on where they are and what has just happened in Captain America, Sokovia Accords, and them kind of trying to walk all that stuff back or whatever. Like Daredevil Born Again is now officially MCU
Mm-hmm.
canon. So how does this affect the remaining MCU? Like, how does this affect what's going on in the overall MCU and the fact that they're more or less able to use elements from the actual MCU now that they didn't have access to when they were running those seasons prior, and that they can do things in this show now that will affect
Mm-hmm.
things that are going on in other shows and other series. Again, do we see Echo show up in this? Because we could. Do we see Hawkeye, like new Hawkeye,
Right.
show up in this? Because we could. Is Kamala Khan somehow? I mean, again, she's running around New York doing things and saving people and whatever. So there are these other, especially things that have come from shows that could have something to do with this. I don't think Kamala Khan is the right fit for how dark
Right.
this show is, right? Does She-Hulk show up? Even if it's not She-Hulk, if it's just not her She-Hulk version,
Right.
if I may, if it's just a lawyer in passing kind of thing or whatever, right? Since Daredevil wasn't She-Hulk,
Yeah.
it 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 just seems to me that the direction that what they're talking about now and the emphasis that they're putting on vigilanteism as a whole should be more overarching than having to do with more or less just him being in this one show. And so either it says to me, let's at least get some of the defenders in here, sneak attack, one or two of them in here somewhere, or somebody else from the greater MCU makes an appearance or something like that. Obviously, that remains to be seen. We closed out the third episode with Fisk having a conversation with BB, wanting to invite her back in so that he could go off of vigilanteism, and that conversation that he's having, that she's recording, is happening while White Tiger is suiting up and goes out and then is killed by Fake Punisher.
Right.
You know what I'm gonna call it. Ooh. Again, you put yourself out there. I can see the backlash on Matt for outing him and outing his identity, and now he's dead because everybody knew who he was. So it's easy to track him, easy to know where he is, you know, whatever. And so you put a target on him, right? And him saying to him, like, you should have talked to me first. It wasn't okay for you. And he's like, I kind of had to, but you outed my secret identity, and look what happened. So it could go down that road of feeling like vigilantes need to be able to protect themselves or to wear a mask. It certainly could go down that road of like the way that the DA was saying, like, if he's a hero, why is he wearing a mask? These guys that hide behind masks, blah, blah, blah. Real heroes don't have to hide behind masks. There's all these police officers that sign up to protect you, whatever, and they're not wearing masks, whatever. Here's the reason why. Now he got killed. This is the reason why these heroes wear masks, to protect themselves and to protect their families, you know, or whatever, because, you know, it's a different thing. So we could go down that road for sure. It would make sense because they lean so heavily into that closing argument, right? And then kind of closed out with Kingpin saying what he's saying. So again, I think that there's going to be, I used to watch the old show, the original seasons when they were on Netflix. You kind of had to watch within the confines of their own universe. This isn't that way anymore.
Right.
We're able to watch this within the confines of the greater MCU. So it does make me think a little bit differently about where they're going and what they're doing and how they handle some of this stuff. And again, whether or not it has to mean anything to the greater MCU, it doesn't necessarily.
True.
But it could, and in some ways I feel like they should.
I think She-Hulk would be a good fit to add in, just because she was dealing with representing heroes or whatever, like in her firm or whatever. I think she'd be a good fit, and her and Matt Murdock already had that relationship, so I think she'd be a great tie-in with the whole lawyer thing or whatever. I think she would be a good fit to tie into this, and other people, like I said, from the Defenders.
Also caused some issues with him and his new girlie, because
because he was clapping them green cheeks. Yeah.
Was he clapping the green cheeks? Or
she was clapping his.
Apparently, it worked out for both of them. So
right, they both walked away happy. So
yeah. I mean,
I do want to see if there, like I said, there are other heroes or vigilantes in the city, since they are putting emphasis on it. We've only seen Tiger and Daredevil. You know what I mean? So I want to see who else around. Is Luke Cage, like you said, the Defenders running around doing stuff out there?
They showed so in the Times Square joint, when Wilson Fisk is like addressing everybody, there's an average. You know, they always have like they had that advertisement for like the Rogers musical thing or whatever. There was an advertisement for, now I can't think of the name of it, the club that Luke Cage took over at the end of this season.
What's the name's club? Yeah.
There was an advertisement for that club.
Okay.
I mean, they're around. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like they don't exist. It's not like what did happen with the Defenders didn't happen. It did happen. It's part of this canon.
Yeah.
Hey, and they can
Oh, yeah.
always go the route of
Yeah.
trying with all the vigilantes. We can see a resurgence, almost like a Sokovia Accords type of thing, where like they're trying to get the vigilantes to register. Like you're out here, we need to know who you are, type of thing.
They could. I mean, listen, could they do that on just like a New York level? Probably with Fisk as mayor or whatever. I could kind of see something like that. Fisk doesn't strike me as the kind of person who is going to try to push legislation of some sort. However,
If it fits his
because
agenda.
in the greater MCU they basically walked back the Sokovia Accords with what's the name being the president. Now again, Slim turned into the Hulk and ended up in the you know what I'm saying, in the raft. So they might be like, absolutely, Sokovia Accords
Flip
all
them
over
goes
again.
back in
You
place.
know what I mean? Like, who knows? They could definitely go down that route if they wanted to. But you know, I don't want to take anything away from the show or from
Definitely.
Daredevil. But there is a part of me, because of the way they're talking or whatever, that does want to see them help me help this show be as officially MCU as it is. Give me someone like you
Right.
did that in another show to make Daredevil officially part of it, and you put him in Spider-Man. Like you made him Spider-Man's lawyer.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who he is anymore.
And they have mentioned Spider-Man in the show. We mentioned that a few times already. So
somehow Matt Murdock has to have forgotten that he represented a dude named Peter Parker in a case about him being Spider-Man, because Doctor Strange
everybody erases
the memories of all the people.
Hopefully that
you know
file,
what I'm saying?
like, you'll pull out a random file. Peter Parker, what is this that I have? You know what? Shred this.
Yeah.
Or look into this.
Some kid with a GED who just working for the Bugle. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, look, I'm not looking. No, I don't need Tom Holland to show up. I'm not looking for a Spider-Man cameo. But again, maybe some of the other folks that have been in MCU shows or something like that to just kind of pop in and just give me that drop of like, yes, here is the weave. You know what I'm saying? To quilt. We're all tied in would be, I think, kind of nice. You guys have any closing thoughts on the first 3 episodes?
No, I'm looking forward to episode 4.
Solid.
Where they're taking it.
Good way to get us into it. Kept the tone the same. I'm eager to see what we get going forward.
I dig it. All right, so listen, this has been your Spoiler Boys for episodes 1 through 3 of Daredevil Born Again. Let us know what kind of questions and stuff, on your minds in the comments. Who would you like to see pop up throughout this 4th season of Daredevil, if you will? I'd love to hear your thoughts. We're out. Tools and Loose.
Loading snacks.